think I'm on like 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 episodes in a row where I will sit here and tell you that we slipped into another dimension in 2012. And, I was thinking about it when I was laying down and not really feeling good. I'm like, I talk about this all the time, but I don't give them any background story. So this is what this segment is going to be. And I know you're thinking, oh, okay, turn off this podcast right now, but don't, because this is interesting. If you've listened to this podcast for any length of time, you know that I'm a big believer in parallel universes. And when I think of parallel universes, and this is how I'm starting to describe them, it's like those Russian dolls. The ones that you take off the big and it gets big. You just take them apart and they get smaller and smaller and smaller. I'm thinking, and this is my theory, that these universes are kind of like that Russian doll. That there's just universes on top of them, on top of them, and on top of one another. And I am beginning, really, more than beginning, I am a firm believer that something happened in 2012 that we just slipped out of the current universe and went into the universe where nothing makes sense. Let me talk to you about this. And I know it sounds crazy, and it is. It really is, but gosh, there's a lot that doesn't make sense. So again, in 2012, we know that CERN, the Large Hadron Collider, which is sending these atoms at multi-thousand miles an hour, it's a 17-mile accelerator. It's a particle accelerator, and they crash atoms together. Well, back in 2012, the scientists at CERN, or the Large Hadron Collider, they were on their last try before this thing has to get shut down for 10 years for maintenance. They were looking for the Higgs boson particle, the God particle. And they found it. They found what they were looking for. The problem is, a lot of scientists came out and said, I really think that when they found this particle, it destroyed the universe that we were currently living in. Now, if you think about parallel universes, the way the theory goes is there's a parallel universe where there's, you, me, your friends, your family, they live in that universe. But there's another universe right next to it, underneath it, on top of it, wherever. There's another universe where there's another one of us in our family. And then on top of that, there's another one with another one of us in our family. There's multiple universes. No two are the same. So the question was that Higgs boson particle, was that a particle from another dimension? And when we brought it into this dimension, did that destroy the current dimension we were in, and create this universe, this parallel universe that we're in now? And something changed. Something absolutely changed. We went from, things were kind of crazy. You had the Chads, you had the Iraq War, you had ISIS, but nothing to the effect that left is right is left, wrong is right, and right is wrong. It's like a backward universe. The more I see, and let's talk about the Mandela effects. The Mandela effects are going crazy. And for those of you who don't know, Mandela effect is essentially something that a majority or a lot of people believe that happened. Sinbad the movie, or Shazam the movie with Sinbad. I remember seeing that. I worked at a video store when that came out, and I remember placing multiple copies on the shelf. It never existed. So that is the theory of a parallel universe. And that's why Mandela effect, things that a lot of people believe and remember happening, but the universe we're in, it didn't happen. You're starting to see that again. There's a lot of things that don't make sense. Back in 2000, I think it was 14, I remember Sandy Hook. I remember watching live on TV in the break room at work a man running, hauling ass into the woods, and the cops chasing him, and the cops bringing him out in handcuffs as a second shooter at Sandy Hook. Well, you don't find that anymore. That never happened. It was just Adam Lanza. But I know people that were standing next to me that I asked, you remember that, right? Oh, yeah, that happened. If you were watching it live and you remember watching them bring this guy out from the woods in handcuffs, whatever happened? Was it a conspiracy? Or was it a Mandela effect? Was that something that happened in another universe? Well, ladies and gentlemen, July 5th, 2022, they rocked that thing up again. CERN was up and running. And now there's theories that, well, they destroyed the universe we were in again. But let's before we go into that, talk a little bit about 2012. Everybody remembers December, 21st, 22nd, 2012, the Mayan calendar ended. It was supposed to be the end of the world. Maybe it was. Maybe it was the end of this particular world because we destroyed it by activating CERN. Montauk, up in, I believe it's Massachusetts, they have a research lab that, and I'm going down the rabbit hole here, that supposedly can time travel. And there are multiple employees of the Montauk Research Facility that said, hey, we couldn't time travel past 2012. Could it be because that universe is no longer there? I mean, honestly, as you were growing up or you were in the 2008 through 2010, did you really imagine back now in 2022 that transgender men can get pregnant, that people are going by pronouns of Z and ye, and biological male and female is offensive? Did you really think that was going to happen? When inflation is almost 10%, did you really think the biggest concern for the ruling party would be a quote-unquote insurrection, a treasonous insurrection that wasn't an insurrection? Did you really think that would be happening in your lifetime? Did you think that gas prices would be going up to $5, $6, $7, $8, $9 a gallon, and the ruling party would be like, we can't drill for oil in our country, we'll let other countries do it for us and pay more for gas? Everything is upside down. So, with that being said, let's hope beyond hope, that when they turned CERN on again July 5th, and we're looking for these mysterious particles that don't exist in our universe but exist in other universes, let's hope that they destroyed the universe that we were currently living in because it made no absolute sense at all. And let's hope that they brought us into a universe where right is right and wrong is wrong. Because I don't want anything to do with that. Now, the last question is, if you are a scientist who is in the business of CERN, would you not question turning this damn thing on if every time you turn it on, you destroy the universe that you're living in?